Ben McKee, West Record Go Vols 24/7 here with our Around the Horn in the batting cages at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, where Tennessee baseball, as Dalton Bargo just got done telling us, got their teeth kicked in this afternoon at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Tennessee's 12 consecutive series winning streak in conference play comes to an end. A&M sweeps the doubleheader. They win game one 9-3. They win the second game 17-6, run ruled Tennessee, which we have not seen in quite some time. It's Tennessee's first series loss at home in basically exactly 2 years, April 4th through April 6th of the 2023 season, when Florida came in here and won a series. Was the last time Tennessee lost the series here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Just nothing really went right for Tennessee baseball today. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, even going into this series, I mean, I sat there and said A&M's kind of a grenade that at some point is going to blow up. There's just fundamentally there's too much talent on that team for it to have that record, and I thought Tennessee would do well to just kind of take that grenade and toss it into the future, but it blew up here. And with all that said, I didn't think it would be like a 17-6 type of game or a 9-3 type of game, but it was just that kind of day where it felt like, to some extent, the baseball gods sort of had their thumbs on the scales at times, where Tennessee just did good things and just did not get breaks because of it. And then after that happens a couple times, you kind of start to back up a little bit, and it just kind of spiraled from there. And then in the second game, I mean, it was just an absolute pasting. I mean, there's no other way around it. Maybe if that gets called a catch, maybe the whole thing is different, but that doesn't matter, because what happened, and you got to respond, and they just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can break down in terms of the nuance of the loss. The pitching staff was not good enough. Yeah. They gave up 11 home runs combined in both games. They gave up 7 in the second game, one shy of program record for home runs given up in a game, which was 8. They were one shy of that. Pitching staff wasn't good enough. Everybody who touched the mound today. The offense was not good enough today. They did not play clean baseball on the base pass. They did not play clean baseball in the field defensively at times, whether it be a pickoff, whether it be fielding ground balls. It was sloppy baseball by all 3 phases of the game. So I don't know how much you can break down in terms of the small nuances, the games within the games. I kind of revert to the big picture. Maybe that's just me, and I think if you want to view it from an optimistic standpoint, if you're Tennessee, is these days do happen in baseball quite often, even to the best of the best. And the good news, if you want to view it through that prism, is that these were 2 ugly losses, but it might be 2 ugly losses because both games were played on the same day, and it just wasn't Tennessee's day at the ballpark. And you hope Tennessee learns those lessons going forward. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's maybe at times just a bit casual, but other than that, I mean, it was just, listen, the SEC, what Tennessee's done the past 5 years is distort reality. What they do is not normal. Like, the other teams in this league don't just quit playing. Like, they're getting players Tennessee wants to get and doesn't. They're also developing good players. They're getting multiple guys drafted. I mean, A&M, you might have just as much or more signing bonus money from that A&M team as you do from that Tennessee team. And Grahovic's not playing, but still, that would add to it. But I mean, the bottom line is they're playing with metal bats, and they're very, very talented. Everyone is. And if you just dip a little bit, it shows. And that's how a team like A&M goes 1-8 to open SEC play. And that's how a team like Tennessee can just crush everything in its path and then have a team come into its own park and beat the snot out of it, because that's what the margins are in SEC baseball. And Tennessee, to its credit, has made people forget that for a long time. But I think that 2022 team learned a little late that it can happen, and that was a bad thing. I think it's healthy to have it happen a couple times to you during the season. You don't want to be on a day where you're having a doubleheader and you threw a no-hitter the night before. But let's not forget the guy who got the ball first today for A&M, Justin Lampkin, the guy who started and got his teeth kicked in by Tennessee in the national title game. And so he spent all night watching his guys get kicked in the teeth, stewing about that game for months, I'm sure. He got his chance, and he was good, and he won the game.
Yeah, and when I say, optimistically speaking, that both losses were on the same day, and it feels like Tennessee had just a bad day at the park, I'm not at all excusing the performance this weekend, but I also think it would be short-sighted to view this as a time to to freak out long term.
Yeah.
I mean, even the past couple of teams, the 22 team had the weird loss to Texas Tech or Tennessee Tech at Smokies Park. The 23 team certainly had its fair share of ugly weekends early in conference play at Missouri, at Arkansas, against Florida, like I mentioned earlier. Last year's team, it loses at Alabama early on. It had a ugly performance against Ole Miss and Georgia, even though it won both of those series. Like, this happens throughout the course of the season. So my point is, I'm not at all excusing what happened today. Shame on them for what happened today. But I still maintain my overall thought about this team, that they will be fine in the long run. I think they've got the leadership to shake back from it, and they certainly have the talent to do so as well. It was just a bad day at the ballpark, and unfortunately this day required them to play 2 baseball games, and they weren't ready to play.
And for me, I mean, Ben, the way I look at it is we'll know in the long run either way, but I think when one day is so remarkably different from almost every other day in a season. Like, I give every team a couple of midweek losses per season where I'm like, if you have more than that, I'm concerned. If not, I don't really care. I don't think anyone should. But in terms of the games that have mostly mattered, these guys have showed up and they've been good. Like, they haven't won every game, but most of them they have, and they've been good. Like, when one day is just so different from every other day, I think you can place that in context. Now, you can put it on notice for, you know, if it happens a little bit, then obviously something happened between this game or last night and tonight. But if things end up being okay, and I suspect they will, especially with Keelan coming back and Russell coming back, like, they didn't turn bad at baseball in a day. Like, they're going to be all right. But yeah, I mean, when it's so different, you have to sit there and go, maybe it's just a weird day. I mean, that ball that Andrew Fisher hit was supposed to go 414 off the bat, and the wind brought it back like 80 feet, and it got caught at the wall. There are days when this game just says it is not your day. And it wasn't Tennessee's day, but the way that they kind of responded to that made what could have been a couple close losses and expanded it.
Absolutely. It's another big week for Tennessee coming up. They'll go play. Not sure what Ole Miss is up to this weekend. I know they're getting into it with Kentucky, but don't know what the overall, if they've won or lost that series at the time of this recording. But going into the weekend, Ole Miss, a top 10 baseball team. So Tennessee will have possibly a top 10, top 15 road series in Oxford next weekend. There will be a lot of emotion with Liam Doyle, Andrew Fisher coming back to Oxford. So big week coming up. You got Alabama State on Tuesday night, and then you go to Ole Miss Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we'll have all that coverage at GoVols247.com. He's Wes Rucker. I'm Ben McKee.